The bottom line, if you want to lose weight and fight body fat, stay away from foods that harm your metabolism. Choose fat-fighting foods, eat fewer calories, and burn more calories.
Welcome to Philosopher Insights, the podcast that delivers wisdom in minutes a day that you can put into practice daily and strive to master over a lifetime.
The podcast committed to sharing ideas that encourage you to bridge the gap between who you are today and the person you aspire to be in the future.
Hi, my name is Herb Lamba, and welcome to my podcast, where I will share practical insights from the world's best authors.
Knowledge isn't power. Applied knowledge is. The quest to become the best version of you starts right now.
Hi, and welcome to Philosopher Insights. Today we're taking a look at Eat to Beat Your Diet. Burn fat, heal your metabolism, and live longer. The author of this book is William Li, and this book is published in 2023. I want to share a number of insights from this great book, starting with the hidden dangers of fat, visceral fat, fat as a space heater, metabolism truth, genes and fat, Mediterranean way, pharmaceuticals, all calories are not created equal, and finish it off with what's next. So let's start with the introduction. Quote, I'm not a fan of diets. Never have been. I dislike fad diets, crash diets, pop diets. In fact, any diet that promises massive weight loss in no time at all. Most popular diets are not based on science and don't address the true basis for health, which you can't see in the mirror. Eat to Beat Your Diet was written to bring you the real science that is missing from all those diet plans. Fighting body fat is vitally important for your health, but not for the reasons you might think. And food is not your enemy. In this book, you will learn through a remarkable set of discoveries backed by validated research studies that the right foods can improve your metabolism and strengthen your body's natural health defenses. By the time you're done, you'll understand how to eat these foods to your advantage, beat back body fat, and optimize your health, all without ever needing to go on a diet, hence the book's title. What I discovered was mind-opening. Most of the ideas we accept as fact about metabolism and fat are not even true. Even doctors and nutritionists were getting it wrong. End quote. Now I captured that from the opening paragraph of the book. Eat to Beat Your Diet is William Li's second book. His first book, Eat to Beat Disease, was a huge success, and I have no doubt this one will surpass it. Get ready to discover the secrets of nourishing your body while still savoring the flavors you love. To be honest, I was only able to dip my toes into the vast ocean of wisdom contained in this book. But I am honored to share a handful of my favorite insights, so let's get started. Insight number 1. Hidden dangers of fat. Quote, excess body fat is a true villain when it comes to your well-being, even in slender people. A common misconception is that you only need to worry about fat if you are overweight. In reality, even if the number on the scale says you're healthy, you can have too much fat. Whether you have a large body or a small one, excess body fat grows, like a cancer. Just like a tumor, fat needs blood supply to nourish its mass. Once fat improves its blood supply, more oxygen and nutrients flow to feed the cells. But also like a tumor, fat cannot grow if its blood supply is impeded. End quote. It turns out that body fat concerns aren't limited to just overweight individuals. Even if you're rocking a seemingly fit physique, there could be lurking dangers within. But here's the silver lining. Armed with this knowledge, we can make informed decisions and eat our way to a healthier future. Believe it or not, certain foods possess the remarkable ability to combat fat. By incorporating these power-packed options into our diets, we can bid farewell to unwanted fat and give our metabolism a much-needed boost. It's all about fueling our bodies with the right ingredients to ignite fat loss and transform our overall well-being. Insight number 2. Visceral fat. Quote, the most dangerous type of fat is the kind that is crammed in the crevices inside your abdomen, wrapped around your innards like pastry dough squeezing your organs in a bear hug. This type of fat is called visceral fat, and it poses a greater health risk than subcutaneous fat, the jiggly stuff that accumulates visibly beneath the skin. Visceral fat encases your kidneys, intestines, and even your heart like a baseball glove. Normal-sized people can walk around with visceral fat billowing deep inside them and never know it until a health disaster strikes. End quote. Li delves into the intricate connections between excess fat and its impact on our health. from the heightened risk of diabetes, cancer, and heart disease to the detrimental effects on our brain. He leaves no stone unturned. But here's the exciting part. You don't have to shed copious amounts of body fat to emerge victorious in the battle for your well-being. Even small victories can make a significant difference when it comes to your health. Lee backs up his claims with a plethora of studies, one after another, each painting a vivid picture of the profound impact of excess fat on our health. Results of one study showed that losing just 12 pounds was associated with a 15% reduction in all-cause mortality. Insight number 2. Fat is a space heater. Quote, everyone knows what it's like to step shivering out of the water after a dip in the swimming pool. Shivering occurs when our muscles involuntarily contract to generate heat. The response warms us up. Fat can generate heat, too, only without the need to shiver, and it does so by using a truly remarkable system that is linked to what you eat as well as the temperature of your environment. The way fat generates heat is called adaptive thermogenesis. There is one specific type of fat cell, called the brown adipocyte, or brown fat, whose job is to turn up the heat. Heat generation by brown fat has huge health implications. For one thing, turning on adaptive thermogenesis consumes the fuel from excess fat, which burns away harmful fat and can result in weight loss. End quote. While brown fat's existence was only uncovered in the 1960s, its true potential as a powerful ally in our weight management and overall health has been revealed. When activated in the right way, brown fat can work wonders. Cold temperatures, both physical and emotional stress, and purposeful fasting are the key triggers for activating this remarkable fat. But here's the truly mind-blowing discovery. When adaptive thermogenesis kicks in, it not only activates brown fat, but also mobilizes all of your body's defense systems to promote optimal health. Insight number 3, metabolism truth. It turns out that every human is born with the exact same metabolism, and it is hardwired to operate in only 4 patterns over the course of your life. It is not a slow metabolism that causes your body to gain fat. Rather, it is your body fat that slows your metabolism. The accumulation of excess fat forces your metabolism to slacken like a heavy load placed on the roof of your race car. The good news is that this means you can control your metabolism by shedding fat. Not only can weight loss help restore a slow metabolism, you can also fire up your metabolism by activating your brown fat. How does your metabolism interact with body fat? Their connection is fuel, the biochemical energy coming from the food you eat. Your fat tissues store the fuel. Your metabolism draws energy from fat tissue's fuel reservoir to power the rest of your body. End quote. Now, having delved into numerous health-related books and spent countless hours listening to health podcasts, I found it intriguing to come across the claim that everyone's metabolism is identical. However, it raises a question regarding the influence of hormones, muscle mass, and other factors on individual metabolism. These aspects play significant roles in shaping metabolic processes, and it would be valuable to explore how they interplay with the notion of a universal metabolism based solely on fat. Quote, the researchers discovered that all humans are hardwired to have the exact same pattern of metabolism over different periods of their lives, and that pattern is not what we once believed. Rather than there being different metabolisms for different people due to genetics, the differences between people's metabolisms are the result of disruptions caused by excess body fat to the standard set pattern. End quote. It's both fascinating and somewhat empowering to consider that our metabolism may not be an immutable culprit for our health issues. Instead of solely blaming a slowing metabolism, this perspective suggests that we have some degree of control over it. It offers hope, reminding us that we are not indefinitely bound by our metabolism's current state. Insight number 4, genes and fat. Quote, certain foods can also turn on or turn off your DNA in ways that protect you against the harms of fat. This is called epigenetic change, and foods like dark leafy green vegetables, beans and legumes, and beets are known to do this. They bring about a process called DNA methylation. This epigenetic change is associated with slimming down abdominal fat, weight loss, and improving metabolism. End quote. Your genes are like a special set of instructions that tell your body how to grow and develop just like a recipe. Epigenetics is like a switch that can turn those instructions on or off, like flipping a light switch. It decides whether certain genes should be active or not. But here's the interesting part. Epigenetics can be influenced by the world around us, like our environment. It's like the switch can be affected by things we see, touch, eat, or breathe. Quote, another epigenetic tactic that is useful for combating fat involves turning on the genes that cause undesirable fat cells to become more desirable brown and beige fat cells. There are at least 27 genes that can be activated in brown and beige fat, but not in white fat. By flipping on the switch for these genes, white fat becomes brown. End quote. To activate those genes that can help fight fat, incorporating certain foods into your diet may be beneficial. Foods like chili peppers, coffee, apples, onions, peppermint, and tomatoes have properties that could potentially influence those genes in a positive way. While it's not exactly like performing gene therapy, these foods might provide support to those fat-fighting genes, potentially aiding in weight management and a healthier lifestyle. Insight number 5, Mediterranean way. Quote, my number one priority is that my meals must taste great. And because of my childhood, travels, and life experiences, as well as my research on food and health, I naturally gravitate toward the traditional cuisines from the Mediterranean and Asia. Their cuisines are delicious, and both the Mediterranean region and Asia have areas known as blue zones, where people age better, live longer, and are overall healthier. Their cuisines are abundant in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, herbs, nuts and legumes, and whole grains, and in coastal regions, they're plentiful in seafood. I don't follow any diet. Instead, I follow a food approach. I call it Mediterranean. The Mediterranean way allows you to delight in a variety of delicious foods while you boost your health defenses, optimize your metabolism, and fight harmful body fat. End quote. What's great about following Lee's recommended eating style, known as the Mediterranean way, is that most of the foods and spices he suggests can be found at your local grocery store. This means that making the transition to this way of eating is convenient and straightforward. You don't have to search far and wide for specialized ingredients, making it easier for you to adopt this approach to your diet. Insight number 6, pharmaceuticals. Quote, the foods I'm about to describe are not like medicine. They are medicine. Natural pharmaceuticals. And by the way, pharm is spelled F-A-R-M in this example. So I'm going to talk about them that way. You are going to appreciate some familiar foods in an entirely new way based on their ability to fight body fat, as shown in human studies. Food as medicine is wonderful because of its vast flexibility. The more variety, the better it is for your metabolism. End quote. Lee covers a wide range of foods to delve into their benefits. To avoid extending this podcast episode to hours long, I'll highlight just a few of them. However, I highly recommend checking out the book to go deeper into this fascinating subject. First food I'd like to suggest is avocados. Quote, avocados contain an array of fat-fighting bioactives including chlorogenic acid, just like apples and blueberries, as well as carotenoids, all of which counter the growth of adipose tissue by stimulating thermogenesis and burning down harmful fat. End quote. Avocados are often misunderstood because they contain fats, which can give them a bad reputation. However, it's important to note that avocados actually contain healthy fats that can benefit your health in a variety of ways. These fats can contribute to improving heart health, reducing inflammation in the body, and supporting the absorption of important vitamins that are soluble in fat. So contrary to the misconception, avocados can be a valuable addition to your diet when consumed in moderation. The next food, tomatoes. Quote, why are tomatoes so effective? One reason could be that lycopene dissolves in fat. It is sopped up like a sponge in body fat. Lycopene has many benefits when it comes to health defenses. The buildup of lycopene in body fat may help its cancer-starving properties. When consumed in the diet, specifically in tomato sauce, lycopene has been associated with a 20 to 50% lower risk of prostate cancer. End quote. Incorporating tomatoes into your diet can be a nutritious and delicious way to support overall health. Whether enjoyed fresh, cooked, or in the form of sauces and salsas, tomatoes offer a range of health benefits that make them a valuable addition to a well-balanced diet. Chili peppers. Quote, Compared to those who did not eat any chili, those who ate a little chili every day were 19% less likely to become overweight or obese over 9 years. Those who ate medium amounts were 23% less likely, and those who ate large amounts were 27% less likely to have a weight problem." End quote. The compound responsible for the fiery heat in chili peppers is called capsaicin. Capsaicin has been found to boost metabolism and increase fat burning, making it a potential aid in weight management. Additionally, consuming chili peppers can help reduce appetite and increase feelings of fullness, potentially leading to reduced caloric intake. Apple cider vinegar. Quote, "The acetic acid in vinegar improves insulin sensitivity and lowers blood sugar. It's the acetic acid of the vinegar that promotes metabolic health. Both visceral and subcutaneous fat decreased in the vinegar drinkers compared to the placebo group. High-dose vinegar drinkers also had lower triglycerides by 17%, lower total cholesterol by 6%, and lower systolic blood pressure by just under 5 points." End quote. I recently started adding apple cider vinegar to my green tea every morning after reading about the benefits. Insight number 6. All calories are not equal. Quote, "There is one important added twist to the principle of moderation. Not all calories are created equal. The quality of the food containing the calories makes a big difference. You've heard of candy and soda referred to as empty calories. They commonly contain high fructose corn syrup, which is a simple sugar that in excess leads to metabolic syndrome. The concept of nutrient density is really important when making food choices. Whole foods like fruits and vegetables contain fiber, bioactives, proteins, and other macro and micronutrients, as well as natural sugars. The bottom line, if you want to lose weight and fight body fat, stay away from foods that harm your metabolism. Choose fat-fighting foods, eat fewer calories, and burn more calories." End quote. Here is some parallel wisdom from Elizabeth Blackburn in her great book, The Telomere Effect. She says, quote, "When we want to spot the parties responsible for metabolic disease, we point a finger at the highly processed, sugary foods and sweetened drinks. We're looking at you, packaged cakes, candies, cookies, and sodas. These are the foods and drinks most associated with compulsive eating. They light up the reward system in your brain. They are almost immediately absorbed in the blood, and they trick the brain into thinking we are starving and we need more food. While we used to think all nutrients had similar effects on weight and metabolism, a calorie is a calorie, this is wrong. Simply reducing sugars, even if you eat the same number of calories, can lead to metabolic improvements. Simple carbs wreak more havoc on metabolism and control over appetite than other types of foods." End quote. Let's expand further on this subject by diving into Gary Taub's great book, The Case Against Sugar, where he says, quote, "So here's the if-then hypothesis. If these Western diseases are associated with obesity, diabetes, insulin resistance, and metabolic syndrome, which many of them are, then whatever causes insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome is likely to be the necessary dietary trigger for the diseases, or at least a key player in the causal pathway. Because there is significant reason to believe that sugars, sucrose and high fructose corn syrup in particular, are the dietary trigger of insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome. It's quite likely they are a primary cause of all Western diseases. Without these sugars in the diet, these chronic diseases would be relatively rare, if not, in some cases, virtually non-existent." End quote. The impact of sugar on our metabolism provides clear evidence that not all calories are created equal. When we consume calories from sugar, it can have detrimental effects on our metabolism, causing all kinds of disruptions and difficulties. Insight number 7. What's next? Quote, "The scientific progress being made in the field of food as medicine is stunning because it keeps expanding our ability to direct our own health destiny. As the gate to these new scientific frontiers open, we will continue to discover new paths that take us toward a brighter and healthier future. What's next? Beyond fighting disease and strengthening metabolism, the next great goal in human health is to overcome the aging process itself. We are now learning how using food as medicine can not only extend our lifespan, but also keep us vibrant and youthful well into what was once considered old age. Science tells us the best is yet to come. Stay tuned." End quote. I captured that from the epilogue, which closes out the insights I wanted to share from this great book. There is so much valuable information packed into this book that it would be impossible to fully convey it on this podcast. My hope is that I've sparked your curiosity and appetite for knowledge, motivating you to explore further by reading the book. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay curious and keep embracing the wonders of knowledge. Talk to you soon. You've been listening to Philosopher Insights with your host, Herb Lambert. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.